Good morning, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. It is Wednesday today. It's the 20th of May, and I am back for Chart of the Day video number 35. 35. Yeah. Pretty sure. 35. How are you today? I'm doing well. My ear's still full. I have a headache. I suspect it's coming from my neck. We're just going to ignore it. It's harder to ignore the echoing in my head. There's a lot of empty space up there. It echoes pretty good. I hope you're all well. I hope your weather is wonderful. It's another cloudy, cool day here. I don't know that summer is ever going to arrive. I think maybe tomorrow the sun is supposed to shine. But who knows? It was supposed to be 80 degrees all week, too, and that didn't happen. So anyway, I hope you're doing good. Last night, Dan was teaching, and he decided he had to teach it at the school last night rather than from home. Like, he wasn't at the college teaching. He was at where he normally works, and just did his teaching from there because he needed a bigger screen. So I had to leave fairly early last night because the dogs were at home. So I got out of here at like 5:30 and went home, had some supper, and I did get some stitching done, so that was good. I watched the finale of The Voice, which is one of my favorite shows, and I was okay with who won. Todd was good. There were a lot of good singers this time. So I did that while I was stitching, and Dan came home about 9. We chatted for a little bit, and then I went to bed. So that was my day yesterday. It was busy here yesterday. The phone rang off the hook. It seemed like every time I hung it up and went to go do something, it would ring again. So I did not get as much work done yesterday as I would have liked. I was really hoping Dan was going to work from home today, but he's working with the police on something today, so he had to go into work. And but I was hoping he would be at home so I could leave at like 7 and come in at 7 this morning, but it didn't happen, so hopefully I'll get a lot done today. Yesterday's chart of the day was very popular, the Pet All the Dogs, and the question of the day about the frosting. A lot of people like frosting. A lot of them like the buttercream. A few of you like the whipped. And that's fine. Everybody likes different things. Many of you mentioned cream cheese frosting, which is also a favorite of mine. A couple mentioned ganache, which is also good. But yeah, give me a nice big clump of buttercream frosting and I'm happy. So thank you for responding to that question. So today's chart of the day is a new one from Plum Street Samplers called My Peaceful Home. It's a drum finish. You don't have to do it as a drum. That's just how Paulette chose to have it finished. This is a picture of what the whole piece looks like. Let's see, stitch count 177 by 50. Oh, I got a hive right there. Supposed to be stitched on 36 count Confederate gray, which I do not have that. I have some in 40 count, but very little. Uses Weeks Dye Works and 1 DMC. There's some long stitch and some back stitch, just a little bit. So that's pretty much what I can tell you about the chart. This is the Floss colors, and this is the Confederate gray 40 count. So it looks a lot darker than the picture. The picture looks pretty light, but we all know by now, don't go by the picture because it's never accurate. And it's not so much that they don't care what the picture looks like. It's just that it's really hard to get a good picture that accurately shows the colors. Printers do, I can print the same picture on my home printer and on this, and the colors, two entirely different things. So it's not that they don't try. I know I've heard lots of people say they need to learn to take better pictures. That's not it. It has a lot to do with the printer it's printed on, your monitor. It's just a lot of different factors. It's harder than you think it is to get a decent picture. So just wanted to put that out there. So the colors are all pretty on there. If you don't or can't get your hands on the Confederate gray in the count you want, I have 36 count creek bed brown. Is very similar in color, little bit different look. This is the old Weeks Dye Workspace. So this has a different look to it. This has more of a tweedy look, but the color is pretty much the same. So if you like the color, then the creek bed brown would work. And again, all the colors look really nice on there. If you want to lighten it up a little bit, this is weathered shingle, and I think it would look fine on there. It probably looks a little bit more like the picture, because sometimes you do, speaking of the pictures, sometimes you do fall in love with the look of the picture, and then you pull the stuff that it calls for and it doesn't look anything like that, and it's somewhat disappointing. So if you like the look of the picture, then I would say this would be a good option. If you want something nice and springy, I have some 36 count Highland from Picture This Plus, which is a very pretty color. It's kind of green and yellow and a little bit of blue. And I think the colors are really pretty on there. And then for something entirely different, I pulled out this color called Copper Kettle. It's a Zweigart fabric. And it gives it, again, an entirely different look to the piece. More of a, maybe a fall look. But I still think it's very pretty on there. Where's that blue? Get that blue out there. The only one that might be an issue is this one. That's the bright leaf. It's used for one of the deer and something else that I can't remember. I would probably darken that up to maybe Swiss chocolate would show up better. But that would be another good option. So, hope you enjoyed that and the fabric options. I am glad that people like seeing the different fabric options and that you're not bored with it. If you do ever get bored with that, let me know. I'll quit doing it. 'Cause I don't want people to be bored. And we all know that I'm not the most exciting person in the world, so I don't want to bore you. Today's question of the day is all about Plum Street samplers. What chart of Paulette's, and maybe it's none of them, maybe she's not your thing, and that's fine too, because that's what makes the world go round, is everybody has different choices, different likes, different dislikes, different thoughts. You just need to be respectful about them. So what chart of Paulette's Plum Street sampler would you like to stitch that you have not yet stitched or haven't purchased yet or have thought about for years? Maybe you think it's too big, or some reason that you just haven't pulled the trigger yet. Other things seem to get in the way. I think for me, it would have to be, I'll take it out of the bag so we don't have glare. There's a lot of her charts that I absolutely adore and someday would like to stitch. This is one of them that I would really like to do. It's called a Ghoul-Tide Welcome. I do not think I would do this down here though. I just feel that I don't need that on there. So I might fill that in, possibly in that basket weave that I did for the roof on the one that I did from Brenda, the 4th of July one that I made so many mistakes on. I don't think I like the big words on there. But I love the black house. The windows, you'll notice the windows are all kind of crooked. They're not all in a line like you normally see. It's a very pretty border. So that is one that I would really, and now that I'm looking at it and holding it in my hands, I really want to kit it up and take it home and start it. But I'll probably get it home and not want to start it. So what would be your chart from Paulette that you would like to start, that you haven't already started? It can be in your stash, you just haven't started it yet. That's a good question. We'll go with that one. Let's see. Do I have anything else? I don't think so. Mailman will be here pretty soon. So I'm going to get this finished up so I don't have to pause it. Y'all have a great day today. I'm going to get to work on the orders that I didn't get finished yesterday, and hopefully stitch a little bit this evening. And I will see you tomorrow morning, so you take care until then and get some stitching done. Bye-bye.